It's a back four of Sterling, Suter, Fernandez and Romans. Then you've got Chukwuani and Raskin in the centre of midfield, with Sko Olsen to the right, Mikey Moore to the left, Nadiri and Chimetti are the two up front. And here come the Royal Marines, and I just wonder if one of them is carrying the match ball as they've abseiled their way down from the various stands, and we wait to see where the match ball will be. Getting a round of applause from the armed forces and a real roar inside Ibrox. And indeed the referee Don Robertson is going to wander across towards the far side, where there will be that exchange of the match ball. Hearts have made two changes from the team that won the Edinburgh Derby in midweek, and those changes are Halkett coming back from suspension to replace Kent in the heart of their defence. Aguiar makes his first start, and it means that Claudia Braga will push up as Trollope is in goal. McKenty, Halkett, Findlay and Milner the back four. Leonard and Beningame in the midfield. Chesnikov, Kizaridis and Aguiar behind Claudia Braga, as the match ball has now been placed onto the centre circle. Pat, we've seen some drama this week. This is the next instalment, and it's live on BBC Radio 5 Live.
Well, it's absolutely extraordinary what's happened in this league in the last number of games. Unbelievable. Do not take your eyes off it, and I mean until the last seconds. Anything can happen, and almost certainly will today. By the way, one line about the abseilers down there, if you didn't see it, honestly, they didn't just quietly, slowly abseil down. I thought they were falling. They just fled down with unbelievable speed and then just stopped inches from the ground. Very special forces.
So Hearts are playing in their maroon and white from left to right as we look low down, just to the left of the main stand here at Ibrox, on what is a chilly but dry late afternoon. It certainly wasn't dry a couple of hours ago. Torrential rain was falling, so the pitch will be extremely slick, as Hearts have seen their lead cut to the top of the table to just 3 points after that dramatic win at Rugby Park. And when Pat says you have to wait till the very last minute, Tynecastle on Tuesday, the 88th minute, Parkhead on Wednesday night, the 91st minute, when they got that late goal. Motherwell on the same night got an equaliser in the 89th minute, and then today Celtic with a 96th minute winner in Ayrshire. It is certainly a fascinating title race, and you're listening to it live on 5 Live and BBC Sounds, Pat.
Yeah, that equaliser today, I mean, both of these teams were desperate for Celtic to drop points, and of course not for the first time. The top teams, they know how to do it, they know how to grind it out, but I think it was 96-36. I think there was something 24 seconds left. Extraordinary.
Romans, Belgian under-21 international left back, with a throw on this near side aimed towards Chimetti, the former Everton striker. The referee Don Robertson gives a throw in favour of Hearts, which is going to be with McKenty. Down the line it goes, headed away. Nadiri making his first start since he arrived from Hansa Rostock in Germany. He's done well actually coming on as a substitute. Here is Chimetti now running forward, plays the ball out wide. Opportunity now, as the ball just couldn't be passed forward from Sko Olsen towards Sterling, who galloped from right back to join the attack. Here is Sko Olsen. Derek McInnes is furious that Hearts have given the ball away, and then Emmanuel Fernandez at the heart of the defence as Rangers just start to get a feel of the ball in these opening 2 minutes. 0-0.
That was an amazing chance there. Sko Olsen had, I would say, 3 opportunities to slide that ball through. Dujon Sterling flown up, as you say, along the line there, and I really can't for the life of me to say why Sko Olsen didn't actually play that ball in there, because it would have led to an opportunity without a doubt.
Wonderful noise inside this famous ground, Ibrox Stadium. Here is Suter on the halfway line, playing against his old side, coming forward with the ball midway through the Hearts half to Sterling, far side, level with the area. Sterling's cross takes a deflection, loops up in the air. Hearts get the ball away. Beningame comes forward now with it, driving forward, looks forwards. Aguiar slides into the challenge, and then he catches Nicholas Raskin and is shown a yellow card. So the Brazilian, you wondered how he would fare in his first start. His previous 6 appearances have all been off the bench. There is an early yellow card for him 4 minutes played.
It felt a little bit harsh because you know he was going for the ball and he's sliding in. As you mentioned, the slick surface earlier on there, but it's one of those ones, if you slide in and you don't get the ball and you go to ground, and there's a wee bit of a stud showing there as well, the referee's got no option.
It was a record deal without Hearts actually saying what the fee was when he signed a 4-year deal in the summer, but it will be in excess of £850,000, bearing in mind that was their previous record signing. As Rangers have this free kick that is floated forward into a crowded penalty area. Halkett, the captain, heads it away and stabbed further clear, and Hearts now come under pressure. Aguirre with a little flick, Chestakov a little bit off balance, gets the ball away as we go to the Six Nations and Molly Stevens.
And the half century is up for France. Wales 7, France 54. Atis Ogbe and Charles Olivon with the latest try scores, and this is looking ugly for Wales now, this scoreline. Wales 7, France 54.
That's a hammering after a mightily impressive win on the opening round of fixtures against Ireland, so that'll be 2 wins from 2. What about the Rugby League, Richard Stead?
Just over 10 minutes remaining. Wigan will do most of it with 12 men, though Adam Kieran has just been sin-binned for a late hit on Dejan Assi. They're well in front though, 26-10, including a second half brace from Zach Eckersley. It's Castleford Tigers 10, Wigan Warriors 26.
Rangers are attacking. Sterling far side the right, in comes the cross, flying header out by Mill. Sko-Olsen shot charge down on the edge of the area, and then Sousa wins it back, and Rangers are looking to try and get some momentum going in his opening 5 minutes. 0-0 here at Ibrox. Then it's slowed down, and then in the midfield it's Chukwuani. Ball then passed out by Raskin to this near side, held up by Moore, and now Sousa. And Rangers, every outfield player is in the Hearts half away towards our left. 0-0. They're looking to try and put the league leaders under some sort of pressure pack.
Do you know, when you look back to the start of the season and how terrible a time it was, not only for the Rangers supporters but for the players as well. There was a terrible feeling inside this ground. What about the noise of it just now? Yeah. And the belief of the players. I mean, they have started really, really well in this game today. It's almost unrecognisable as a club.
I was just about to say, it's certainly a far cry from when we last worked together here back in August, when Russell Martin was the manager for the Old Firm game.
It was not the best Old Firm game I've ever been to in my life, that's to be said either. But you know, just atmosphere. I mean, you look around here and the noise, the excitement, the actual belief that there is inside this stadium. But having said that, although under a bit of pressure, Hearts so far, lovely little touches for Aguirre there, a little back heel beforehand, so a good team to watch as well.
6 minutes played, Rangers 0, Hearts 0. Mill, diagonal ball out to this near side. He's looked towards McKenty, who goes in search of it, and then it'll be put away by Ryan Nadiri, making his first start after in the league. Held the ball up well when he came on against Motherwell as a substitute at Fir Park, but it's gone out of play and deep inside the Rangers half. As Hearts play from left to right as we look, they've got to throw on this near side. McKenty, it's a flat throw that comes in. It was trying to be flicked on by Claudia Braga, comes back out towards McKenty, and then his ball actually goes out of play, will be a goal kick. Arsenal-Wigan in the FA Cup. John Akers.
Arsenal 0, Wigan 0. Couple of opportunities for Arsenal from long range. Eze dragged the shot wide via a little deflection from the edge of the box, and then Lewis Kelly, who's playing at left back by the way, because Calafiori got injured in the warm-up. Saka came in, he put a shot over the bar as well. It's Arsenal 0, Wigan 0.
Already through. Leeds United on penalties, Wolves, Sunderland and Fulham. So that's 9 Premier League sides that are through to the last 16. The 5th round draw is tomorrow, and of course we will have commentary. In fact, Mark Chapman is presenting live from Moss Rose, Macclesfield against Brentford, for that concluding, well actually it won't be the concluding tie, will it, because Port Vale Bristol City was called off yesterday. 0-0, Pat.
Well, it's quite interesting the game so far. I mean, Rangers look very good. On the far right hand side, Sterling's supposed to be right back. He doesn't look like a right back, does he? He's playing right wing, he's pushed right up. But on this near side, McEntee's doing exactly the same, isn't he? He's flying up the right hand side here. So quite interesting the way the tactics have worked out here between the two teams, that they're both trying to go down the respective right hand side with the fullbacks.
This is Raskin. Raskin will just stroke the ball to Fernandez, who hits it early, and he really has pinged that, and Sterling won't keep that ball in play. That's one of the 5 changes that they've made. They signed him in the summer for £3 million from Peterborough, 24-year-old Emmanuel Fernandez, who's popped up with some useful goals. 4 of his 5, in fact, have been off his head. There's a now goal at the Emirates. John Akers.
For Arsenal, cut them open, Wigan. Really lovely finish from Madueke. First time, left foot, just slid it underneath the goalkeeper's arms from just inside the penalty area, and it could be a long afternoon for Wigan. It's Arsenal 1, Wigan 0.
Thank you, John. 0-0 it remains here. There's a stoppage in play. I think it was there's a Hearts player who's down.
And the way he's holding his shoulder there, you know, there are giveaway signs with footballers, and see if they don't move their body and they keep their kind of the base of the body on the ground. He's not acting. He's in a lot of pain just now, and you just wonder, has he fallen, maybe done something bad to his shoulder as he's gone down at a difficult angle. He's really struggling there.
Well, they're already dealing with the absence of Lawrence Shankland and Cammy Devlin, the midfielder. Both have been integral to the Hearts' rise to the top of the table, and they're going to be out for a number of weeks just as yet as well. McEntee, I think, isn't it, who's the player who's down, the right back.
Yeah, I'm just talking about him just a few moments before there. I mean, there's no foul whatsoever. He's just gone up, and it's one of those ones where you're up in the air and you're spun by a player who's just below you, and you fall down at a very, very awkward angle. If anyone was watching the Scotland versus England rugby game yesterday, similar happened, and an England player was sent off. I never stayed to then hear the score. What was the score?
I'm not too sure.
Fair enough.
You're not going to get a rise out of me. You're about the 4th different person that's tried that today.
Only 4.
I kept a low profile. He's on his feet at least, is the 25-year-old defender. Left Walsall at the end of last season. An ex-Irish under-21 international. They do have Steinbender on the bench, who'd be a natural replacement for him.
That doesn't look like
it's hard to see how he can continue, because they're actually trying to hold that shoulder. He's grimacing, he's wincing.
He actually should be carried off, I think, right now. He's walking now and he's being brave, but he's in a huge amount of pain there, and now it's just think he calm down a bit, but he's absolutely not a hope in the world. It's a shame of him carrying on, and that's a shame, as I say, because they had been targeting getting the ball to him, and he was getting forward right from the start.
Well, he's gone off nursing what looks like a shoulder injury to his right side, and Michael Steinbender comes on to replace him. He's an Austrian defender, and it means now that there are 9 different nationalities in this Hearts 11 here as they play in their maroon and white from left to right. 0-0 in this crucial game at the top of the table. They were the top 2 this morning. However, Celtic's dramatic win at Rugby Park means that they now have gone above Rangers by 2 points and have moved to within 3 of Hearts in this title race. 0-0, 11 minutes played, as Raskin urges Suter to go on ahead of him. 2 central defenders have split. Passes the ball towards Suter, the Scottish international. Hits that ball early towards Sterling to get onto the end of it, but Milner's covering the left back, comes across, cuts it out, keeps the ball in play, gets the ball back and then knocks it up the line. Don Robertson says there was no foul on Braga, and Rangers will take a throw to get the ball back in play. We've been playing for 12 and a half minutes. It's goalless on
really,
5 Live.
Really good play there by Milne. That was a dangerous break from Rangers. Once again, they do look much more dangerous going down that right hand side. Sterling getting into a really good area. As you say, Milne read it early, got across, and apart from cutting it out, he played it beautifully, 1-2, and got rid of the danger completely.
That game at Rugby Park was a 2 o'clock kick-off. At Fir Park it was a 2:30 kick-off, and Motherwell's impressive season continues. They beat Aberdeen by 2-0 as the ball from Chukwueze just tried to be tickled forward. Rangers though have got it. Sko Olsen has gone down holding his head. The referee might have to stop play. In the meantime, he continues it. This is with Chimiti. Sko Olsen is back to his feet. Chimiti delivers the cross, and it was caught then by the German goalkeeper Alexander Schwolow.
And Sko Olsen suggesting there was an elbow there. It's kind of hard to see it because it came off the ball. He tried to do a little darting run, change direction, and I think the Hearts players will suggest he ran into the defender there.
Clearance from the 33-year-old German keeper, all in yellow, away towards our left, and it will go through to Jack Butland, who's nearing 150 appearances for the club since he signed on a free from Crystal Palace 3 years ago. Here is Fernandez. Raskin again, just ushers him forward and then passes the ball to the tall central defender, gives it back towards the Belgian, hits it downfield. Sko Olsen had made that run forward. Here is Chimiti, gets a touch, looking towards Moore. Chimiti will take it on himself, and then winning the ball back in the midfield is Leonard. And now towards Chesnakov on this near side, the Kazakhstan international, who they have recently signed. Only his third appearance since he's arrived at Tynecastle. Nearly a quarter of an hour played, and we're yet to have a serious chance at either end. But it's finished in the cricket. Dan Norcross.
It has. India have won by 61 runs. They were by far and away the better side. 44 from Usman Khan, top scorer for Pakistan. Wickets spread around in the end. A dominant performance from India, and they bested Pakistan again. They win by 61 runs.
In case you've not heard the news, Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale won gold in the mixed team snowboard cross, and you can actually see that on the BBC Sport website. You watch the video for the Winter Olympics. The second gold that Great Britain and Ireland have won at the Winter Olympics. And so when I mentioned it was dry, it is no longer dry, as persistent rain is now falling here in Glasgow. Rangers 0, Hearts 0.
I think the Rangers fans are a wee bit disappointed in the last 4 or 5 minutes. They've been giving away possession in the midfield far too quickly, and I think the reason for it is that they're trying to play it quickly. They're trying to zip it, and not, when they go slowly, the Rangers fans get a bit bored with it. As you hear it, there's a bit of a groan in the background now. Ooh. Done it again.
Fernandez has given the ball straight away, and now it's passed towards Braga. Braga inside the penalty area. He pulls the ball back, and Hearts take the lead. Mark Leonard has hammered the ball in. It's his first goal for Hearts. He was the one who picked the ball up from that errant ball from the back by Fernandez. He passed it to Braga. It was passed back to Leonard, and he's lashed the ball in. What a goal that could be in the title race. Rangers 0, Hearts 1.
Well, just that, I was halfway through explaining what was happening with Rangers. They were getting forced, they felt, by their fans to play a little bit too quickly into midfield. They've given it away 3 or 4 times in a row into that dangerous area. Halfway through the sentence, they do it again, and Hearts are lethal in that sort of position. You've got to say, Braga, when he held up the ball, I thought, you've got to shoot, but he dragged players towards him. Because he dragged towards him, that gave Leonard the space there, and what a fabulous finish into the far corner. You haven't had many chances, but we've now had a goal.
It was Raskin, wasn't it? He turned his back on it from Fernandez's ball out of the back for Rangers. And Mark Leonard, who began his career at Hearts, he left in 2019. He's on loan from Birmingham City. It's only his 5th appearance since he's returned to Tynecastle. He's been doing well, actually, in the absence of Cammy Devlin, and he made no mistake. Rangers 0, Hearts 1. Another goal at Arsenal. John Akers.
And another goal for Arsenal. This time the defence splitting pass was from Eza, set Martinelli away down the left, and he arrowed a shot with his left foot across the goalkeeper and into the side netting. Arsenal have made a fast start. Wigan going to find it really difficult from here. Arsenal 2, Wigan 0.
And full time in the Rugby League, Richard Stead.
Yeah, better news for Wigan here. They've beaten Castleford 26-16. A late consolation for the Tigers from prop forward George Lawler, but it's the Warriors who take the 2 points, 26-16.
Well, we did say that Hearts have the best away record in the Scottish Premiership, and those that have travelled down the M8 in that corner of the ground over on that far side are singing away to their heart's content, but Hearts have given the ball away. And now it's with Romans infield. Moore with a layoff. Romans left hand side of the area. stands over the ball towards the far post. What a save! Another save, scrambled over the line. Nadiri! What a riposte by Rangers! They weren't behind for long, despite the best efforts of Alexander Shvolov. Nadiri, on his first start for Rangers, pounced. They're back level, 1-1.
What an extraordinary play that was. Well, for the last few minutes anyway. But Rangers, first of all, they go down the left hand side for a change there. The crossing, the save from goalkeeper Shvolov is absolutely extraordinary. It's coming up from inches away. They manages to get it out. The second one, I think he gets fingers to it again. It hits onto the post, but he can do nothing about the third follow-up effort there. Smashed into the top corner. This game has exploded into life.
The first effort was from Chimiti, which was a brilliant reaction save from Alexander Shvolov. I'm not too sure who had the second one, and then it just fell to Ryan Nadiri, and he was not going to miss from that close range.
Wow, it's so breathless. It happened so quickly. There's so much going on there. It looked to me as if there was a little bit of sluggishness at the third opportunity. Well, it was only 3 opportunities within about 3 seconds. Brilliant save, first of all, off the crossbar, but it takes the centre-back too long to get that ball cleared away. He tries to take 2 touches in the 6-yard line. You don't get time in the 6-yard line to take 2 touches, and that's why Rangers had a little bit of chance there. Maybe slightly harsh on him because he's got back towards the goal and he doesn't want to score an own goal there. But wow, we have got a game in our hands.
It was Mikey Moore who had the second effort. I'm not too sure whether the keeper got a touch to it. He hit it right-footed. It was down into the ground. It bounced up. He might have just got a little brush with his fingertips onto the bar, and as it came down, and there was Nadiri to hit it into the roof of the net. You've not missed any of the action. There's been a stoppage in play to one of the Hearts players. I think it was
Finley's gone down.
Finley, Stuart Finley, the central defender who's on loan from Oxford United. But that attack from Rangers all stemmed from them giving the ball away, which left their manager apoplectic.
Yeah, and it's been happening a little bit in this game because, you know, it's beginning to go. I'm looking at it again. It's an own goal, isn't it?
Steinfender.
No, I think it's a defender smashed it into his own roof of his own net. Wow. There's so much happening there so quickly.
It is 1-1. The most important thing from a Rangers point of view is that they are back level quickly, as Steinfender now, after that own goal, it was that attempted clearance, he's been robbed of the ball. Here is Romans on the left-hand side, pulls it back, Chimiti might fall towards Sko Olsen, back now to Moore shoots, spot behind. Ibrox is rocking. It's 1-1. I've got to say, Pat, this game is living up to every expectation so far.
It has. It was very, very exciting, you know, but too much tension at the start. The touch paper has been lit. It is explosive, and I have to say, Rangers, on the balance of play, they probably deserve to get that goal back.
Corner kick on this near side. Rangers playing from right to left. They're attacking the Broomloan stand here at Ibrox. So this corner is going to be an in-swinger. Hearts have got every maroon shirt in and around their penalty area. In comes the corner, fired in towards the near post by Moore, headed back by Sko Olsen. It's kneed out by Steinfender. And then Rangers, with Sterling, are able to turn and to pass the ball out towards that far side. In comes the cross, delivered early. Finley knocks it up in the air rather than away. Might fall towards Sko Olsen. The referee blows his whistle. Free kick to Hearts. It's 1-1. Another goal at the Emirates. John Akers.
This is getting ugly for Wigan. It's Arsenal 3, Wigan 0 as Wigan go down the other end. Appeals for a penalty, waved away. Saka got to the byline, cut it back. Really unfortunate for Jack Hunt. Just kind of hit him in the head. Keeper couldn't keep it out. Own goal. Arsenal 3, Wigan 0.
Thank you, John. It's going to be a goal kick midway through the first half.
I am dying to have another look at that goal because there was so much going on there. I mean, it happened so quickly. It's one of those ones when you see it in slow motion, you think, oh, that's quite good. But it was lightning, it was bubbling about the box, and I didn't even get time to say the word Stramash, which we like to say in Scotland.
A stramash it certainly was. One apiece then here, and probably not even 60 seconds that Rangers were behind.
Yeah, incredible. So, I mean, everyone's just actually beginning to breathe again after all that. But certainly Hearts have not got up the pitch that often, but when they do get up the field, the front four are actually very, very good. They're all incredibly good technical players, so Rangers can give them no opportunities. They gave them just slightly too much on that one occasion and paid for it.
When John Akers says it could get ugly for Arsenal, I think the supporters of Wales rugby union team could maybe associate with that, Molly.
You asked the right person, that's for certain. Wales 12, France 54 at full time, 2 tries to 8. The Grand Slam is still on for France. Back-to-back wins and an expected dominant performance, exposing their defence and attack in its best light. Wales simply outmuscled by a far, far greater side, and perhaps the most glaring thing today was not just the gulfing quality, but the size of the crowd. It's the lowest Cardiff crowd for Six Nations. Wales known in this stadium for its atmosphere, the flattest I've ever seen it, and I have to say I would be surprised if it wasn't that the French crowd actually outnumbered the Welsh crowd here today. Far superior in every sense. Wales 12, France 54.
Thank you, Molly. Here at Ibrox on BBC Radio 5 Live and also on the BBC Sounds app, it's Rangers 1, Hearts 1.
I tell you what, it's a very intriguing Mikey Moore, who's on the ball right now. He is totally different from what he was at the start of the season, spending his time standing out in the right wing. Now he's everywhere.
Moore with the cross, just couldn't keep the ball in play. He's one of those players, isn't he? And I've noticed this when I've been listening to other commentators. You have to say Mikey Moore rather than Moore.
Exactly.
It's funny, isn't it? There are a select group of players where you say the full name.
Absolutely, he is one of them. But it looks like a Mikey, doesn't he? He moves about really quickly. He's got sharpness about him. And, he's on the right wing there. As we look up now, as we walk back, he's standing on the left wing. He's been given freedom to go and cause damage everywhere, and he's doing it just now. He's a very, very special young talent.
Yeah, he signed a new Spurs deal on his 18th birthday. This is his 35th appearance. He's contributed 4 goals. Diminutive, his socks are down, but he's looking to try and make an impact, and he's looked quite lively. It's 1 apiece. Back to John Akers at Arsenal.
26 minutes, 4-0 Arsenal. This time Jesus, another ball, straight ball through the defence. Good first touch and a dink, beautiful dink from Jesus. It's 4-0.
Rangers are on the attack. Sterling off the chest, right hand side of the penalty area, plays the ball back. Here is Sko Olsen, the Danish international, plays the ball inside. Chukwuani now. This robust midfielder coming forward, a couple of touches off his right boot, out towards Romans, the left back, passes the ball inside. Now it's with Raskin. Back towards Chukwuani, just in from the left touchline. Short ball, gets it back, comes in field, gets away from the challenge of Chesnokov. And then the referee will give a free kick for a foul that ultimately came in on Tochi Chukwuani. And Rangers, midway through the Hearts half, have a free kick, 1 apiece.
They seem to have more of the possession, certainly in the dangerous areas, Rangers just now. But the 2 players I suppose you'll look for, we'll talk about Mikey Moore there. He's growing into the game more and more and more. But unfortunately for Hearts, Claudio Braga, not so big an effect in this game so far. And it's imperative that he's had a big effect, i.e. he's made 1 goal, but they're not getting him on the ball in the final third often enough.
The voice of Pat Nevin here at Ibrox, as Mikey Moore and Sko Olsen are the players who are going to stand over this free kick midway through the Hearts half. The line of maroon shirts on the edge of the penalty area. Sko Olsen is the one who to deliver it. Headed out by Steinwender, comes out towards Sterling, lets the ball settle, touches the ball and out, and then it goes to that far side. Sterling continues to run, might get a second chance to deliver the cross. No, in fact he waits and lets it go behind for a corner kick to Rangers, far side, the right, 1 apiece.
Again, Sterling can down that right hand side. He does not look like a full back today, does he? He flies down there every single time, and he doesn't get a game every week for Rangers. He's in and out of the squad. I know they've got Tavernier there as a right full back. He's adaptable. It surprises me that he isn't in that starting line every week.
This is only his 10th appearance this season. In comes the corner, it's an in-swinger. The goalkeeper was struggling. It's partially cleared, and then running into trouble was Kazaridis. Rangers have got it back, and the shot fired in from Moore comes out towards that right-hand side. That looks like it could be a penalty. No. Sko Olsen has gone down and gets a yellow card for the dive from referee Don Robertson.
Well, it's one of those classic ones. It's either a penalty or it's a yellow card. And just for a moment, the entirety of Ibrox held its breath. Very noticeable. There's not a lot of argument against it. Now, we're a long way away from it. We haven't seen a replay yet. But you wonder then, when there's not a big argument from the players, that I think in the parlance, he was looking for it.
Well, he had a good look at it, did Don Robertson, and without any hesitation. Of course, there is VAR. Kevin Clancy is the VAR official. As a matter of course, it would be checked. But he was quite decisive, wasn't he, the referee?
Yeah, he was in a great position. Actually, watching his position in the build-up to it was superb, really, because he gets close to it. He's got a great view of it. He's only about 12 yards away.
Meanwhile, at the other end, Agu has a shot inside the penalty area. Steinbender delivers the cross, and the header goes back in. Oh, it's crept in. Claudio Braga with a looping header, and Hearts have retaken the lead. That has silenced Ibrox. Rangers 1, Hearts 2. Braga with his 14th of the season.
Do you know what? It is one of those classic ones. I think they might look back at that penalty decision. Well, they should do. They won't do now because they give a free kick. And it was a tough one, the Rangers. However, Hearts have had two opportunities and have scored them both. And it's that man Braga. Hardly any involvement. He's made one and scored one. It's extraordinary that it was behind him there, but he managed to get some sort of purchase on that when you didn't think he would do that. I've seen an earlier goal today. Kilmarnock scored a very, very similar one against Celtic, but that's 2-1.
Well, it was Agu's effort that was closed down. Steinfender, who's had an eventful game, was the one who delivered the cross from right back. There must be a check on this because play is yet to restart. But as you say, Pat, Claudio Braga, he had a lot of work to do.
Now, I didn't see anything wrong with that goal, but we have since seen a replay of the yellow card in Skov Olsen, and I must say that was very harsh. Very, very harsh indeed. There was a contact between the players. Maybe I'll be at Skov Olsen, ran into him a bit, but it didn't look to me like a player who was deliberately diving, so maybe not a penalty, but certainly not a yellow card.
So play back underway, and it has been a rather breathless half an hour here at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Hearts 2. And the nature of this game, you certainly don't think it's going to end like this at all. There are certainly more goals in this contest.
Just watch again, Braga there, how he wins that. I mean, he's up against Suter, very, very good in the air, and a very strong player, and much taller as well. But Braga somehow managed to do it while he was backpedaling, headed the ball back to where it came from, and it just looped over Butland's head.
He's got a look of Pedro Neto, who's Claudio Braga, the Portuguese player for Hearts, and whilst that VAR check was going underway, he was praying, and his prayers were answered. So what an excellent signing he's been from Alesund in Norway. Began his career at Rio Ave, signed a 3-year deal. Not that you can hear the Hearts supporters on that far side, but I'm sure there's that chant to the tune of Radio Gaga that is being sung by the travelling support, which is absolutely genius if you've not heard it. But Braga with a super header, and Hearts lead by 2-1, and this half is flying by. 13 minutes to go to the break. Fernandez. You can hear now all of a sudden just a little bit of tension from the Rangers supporters, who only recently, when their side were beating Kilmarnock by 1-0, albeit against the 10 men of Killie, booed off Rangers at half-time. So the reaction, if it was to stay like this for such a crucial game with 13 minutes to go, would be interesting.
It can be like that at Ibrox Park. The expectations are very, very high indeed. And to be honest, they were grumbling at 0-0 when they started giving the ball away. And grumbling maybe is the wrong word. They were warning their team, you're giving the ball away too much. And they were right, they're absolutely right. But the change can happen in moments at this ground.
If I stop talking, you can hear the chant. That little ditty.
There have been very few songs about any player that's better than all we need is Claudio Braga.
It'll be a Hearts throw on this near side, but McInnes, unperturbed by the rain that falls, bounces the ball into the arms of Steinfender. He was unfortunate with the own goal that he conceded under pressure from Nadiri. It would have gone in anyway, actually, even had he not sliced it, because Nadiri was ready to pounce, but he's provided the assist as Hearts lead by 2-1. Findlay passes the ball back. Schwoloff took his time to clear, all in yellow. Chimiti was trying to close him down. Downward header by Sterling, flicked forward by Sko-Olsen. Return towards the Dane. His ball towards Nadiri is given away. Beningame is there to win it back for Hearts. You can hear the groans of despair from the Rangers supporters. And then the ball is passed to Findlay. Milne, the attacking left back, touches the ball inside for Kizaridis. They're coming together on that far side. The referee then will stop play and actually gives a free kick in favour of Hearts. Just over 10 minutes to go to the break. It's Rangers 1, Hearts 2.
I think Hearts could do it, calming down a wee bit just for a moment. They've got themselves into the lead there. Rangers are still pressing a lot. If there was a couple of questions about Hearts just now, you're 2-1 away from home, you're top of the league, there's lots of positives here. They're not quite getting their wingers into the game enough. I mean, they're very good players, Kizaridis and Chesnov, but they've not quite got them into the game enough now. And if they can hold the ball and give their defenders a little bit more respite, that might help them for the rest of the game.
Blonde-haired Milne, the left back, strikes that free kick downfield. Beningame now, formerly of Everton, passes the ball out to Steinfender. The Austrian goes down the side on this near side, the right, and then unable to keep the ball in play was Islam Chesnokov, and it will be a Rangers throw that Romans is unable to take quickly. There was no real movement for the blue shirts ahead of him. Gets it back towards the Belgian defender. Halkett back in the side after suspension. He was sent off in the recent defeat at St Mirren. Raskin passes the ball out wide. Sterling comes forward over the halfway line. Kizaridis will match him stride for stride, but Sterling's got the pace. In the end, they've had to double up on Sterling, and Milne has to lead into the challenge. Looked like handball from Milne. Milne, I think, kept the ball in play with his arm there.
That's extraordinary. Everybody in this ground's seen it except the referee and the assistant referee. Definitely looks it. I mean, it wasn't a penalty. I think it was outside the penalty box.
It was.
It should have been a free kick.
Sterling with a cross from the right-hand side for Rangers. Not dealt with by Chesnokov. Romans can't beat the Kazakhstan international, and the ball will roll out of play for a Rangers throw. 30 yards out from goal. Chukwuani gives it back to Romans, just flicks it towards Chesnokov, and then he's quickly dispossessed as Rangers win the ball back. This is Moore in a central area, gets the ball back, does Moore on loan from Tottenham. Now it's with Fernandez, this tall central defender. Raskin in between the two central defenders, lays it out towards Sterling on the far side. 9 minutes to go to the break. Damp conditions here at Ibrox. Rangers are behind. We've witnessed 3 goals. Suter. Chukwuani gives it back to the Scottish international. He tells Fernandez to go on ahead of him. Actually runs forward. A little slip there as he passes the ball between the lines. Chimeti with the shot, left-footed. It was weak. It was off target. Goal kick. Hearts still lead 2-1.
And that will definitely lead to a few groans from Rangers fans, because Chimeti, you know, you get the ball there, you're on the 18-yard line, fair enough, but you've got to get that on target. And you're right, it was weak. He was off balance. It wasn't a striker's hit, was it? And you're not going to get that many chances. So the Rangers fans, they'll direct their ire against somebody if they don't get a goal soon. And it may well be Chimeti.
The top scorers in the Scottish Premiership have notched up a half a century of goals. Have the league leaders here today as they lead Rangers by 2-1. 8 minutes to go to the break. Alexander Schwoloff with the goal kick, headed forward by Steinfender. This is Nadiri. He's only got Sko-Olsen with him. The German, tall, gangly, leggy, has to keep hold of the ball. Moore plays the ball inside. The return ball back towards Moore. Enters the edge of the area, goes on a horizontal run. Couldn't get a sight of goal. Holds on to it and then is dispossessed. But then Milne gives it away. Chimiti prods it only as far as Rangers get the ball back now with Fernandez. The ball curled out wide towards Sterling. The referee has played an advantage. Chimiti was the one fouled. Not once but twice. I think he's gone down a second time. Referee Don Robertson is letting the game flow, and there's a potential break on here for Hearts. Aguiu tries to curl the ball out wide. Aguiu's got the opportunity. Braga now takes over for Hearts. Left hand side, he slips. Kizaridis was there, and Rangers deal with any danger and now can bring the ball away. Pat, it's breathless.
It's brilliant. It's cup tie, isn't it? It's absolute cup tie, this. Rangers are flying forward now. I have to say, Rangers are 2-1 down. Rangers are playing generally very well.
Nadiri to Chimiti inside the area. Comes back towards Chimiti. He bangs the back of the net. Rangers for a second time this afternoon are back level. It is a titanic tussle at the top of the table. Rangers 2, Hearts 2.
Well, again, as I said halfway through, saying Rangers are playing really well just now. There was a period they gave the ball away a little bit too much in the midfield, and they paid for it. However, the attitude has been brilliant since then. The pace, the way they've chased it, the chances they've taken, because Hearts are good on the break. However, Rangers showed just how good they are in the break as well. Chimiti gets the goal. He's got to say he's got a bit lucky there, hasn't he? His first shot wasn't good, but it rebounded, landed at his feet, then he only had the goalkeeper to beat, and his second option there was the right one. Just put it in the back of the net, and he did.
It was Halkett, the captain, who'd come across. He slid, he blocked the first effort, but it fell fortunately to Youssef Chimiti, who Everton paid £15 million for from Sporting in 2023. He didn't score in 24 appearances. He actually only made 2 starts during that time, only 1 start in the Premier League. But since he's arrived from Everton in September, that is his 5th goal in his 29th appearance. And it will change the mood of Ibrox going in to the tunnel at half-time as they're back level, 2 apiece.
Do you know what I was saying about this place can change in a moment? The atmosphere can change, the feeling can change, their attitude towards the team can change in a moment. But Chimiti there, he was having a tough time, but you know what it's like with strikers. You can have a really tough time, score a goal, you feel like the best player in the world now. You want the ball all the time.
Foul on Sterling on that far side as it was hoisted out wide to the left. That was Kizaridis, who just hauled him to the ground. No action taken from Don Robertson. Did you say he's a little fortunate to escape yellow?
Yeah, but you can almost take into consideration the speed of the game, the atmosphere around the place. If a referee reaches for his cards too often here, it will ruin the game. So I don't think the players are complaining about that at all.
Here we are at Ibrox. It is Rangers 2, Hearts 2. Suter enters the centre circle, plays the ball forward to Chekuani, gives it back to Suter. 162 appearances and 6 goals in 6 years in his time at Tynecastle. Moore back towards Fernandez. Now out towards this near side, the left. Romans chips it forward. Moore's made the run. Halkett will see his goalkeeper come off his line and gather the ball safely with both hands. 2-2, Pat.
Yeah, it is one of those games that we're getting towards half-time now. You're just desperate to keep on going at the same rate of the second half. You want the teams to be both committed. And the joyous thing about this, nobody wants a draw either. Well, apart from possibly Celtic.
I can imagine the Celtic hordes travelling back from Ayrshire who will be not agreeing with that as Chimiti comes forward. Chimiti now rolls it in. Milne with a clearance at the far post. It bypassed Chekuani, who made a run towards the near post. Braga meanwhile in the centre circle. Foul from behind by Raskin. That'll be a free kick to Hearts. It's frenetic.
It's old school, isn't it? It's seriously old school game of football. We'll have a go at you, you'll have a go at us. There's a good deal of skill involved in it as well. I mean, it's not thoughtless stuff. There's good break in there, and you just think, can you keep this energy level up for the entirety of the game? Well, probably not. But you can make all those substitutes, and you start thinking, this game has got so much more to offer between now and the end of the second half, because there's real power on the Rangers bench, but there's good quality in that Hearts bench as well, and they'll need them because you can't go at this level for 90 minutes. Not everyone can.
But with that in mind, Pat, as well, on a heavy pitch in these wet conditions, and the energy levels that are being expended from both sides, it might well take its toll in the second period.
No, it will do, but my feeling like was always when I played, skillful players, you're dying for everybody to get tired because space opens up, they dive in, it tackles, all that sort of stuff happens. So if you're Mikey Moore or if you're Claudio Bravo, you're saying get tired, we'll just get more opportunities.
There speaks a skillful player in the shape of Pat Nevin with 2 minutes to go to the break. Rangers 2, Hearts 2. Hearts have got a free kick 8 yards in from the right touch line. They're playing and they're maroon and white from left to right. Chesnokov takes it, arcs its way into that penalty area, headed up rather than away. Nadiri's header at the second time of asking. And maybe a shot can be fired in by Kizaridis. It was right-footed, but Butland made the save low down. at his near post. But the blue shirts are slow to get out, and in the end Butland has to just drop it short towards Fernandez's central defender. But then Raskin, who's the playmaker, Rangers' best player, now will take over and will try and orchestrate something through from the midfield.
Yeah, and he's always looking to out ball on the right hand side, and there's that man Sterling, yes again.
And he chips it forward towards Sterling, who the right back brings it under control, then just comes to a standstill. Gets it back from Sko Olsen, versatile Danish international. Fernandez midway through the Hearts half, quite a central position. Back then to Chukwueze, closed down by Agu. Suter just over the halfway line, still in the Hearts half. Sterling collects that forward ball down the line. Sko Olsen looks to try and hold it off. Back then towards Sterling. They made the 5 changes from the side that got that 1-1 draw in midweek. Eventually it goes back to Butland, who touches the ball forward, and Fernandez is able to run before Raskin gives him the shout, give it to me, then returns it to the central defender. Back towards Raskin once again. We're into the last 60 seconds, still 2-2 here on 5 Live, and the BBC sounds out. Raskin now runs forward into a bit of space, can't spread the ball forward. Agu picks it up, and his out ball is towards Braga. He looks for the run of Kizaridis going ahead of him, but that's going to be too far ahead of the Greek player. And Fernandez has come across to cover, and he will clear long and downfield as Sko Olsen is beaten in the air by Findlay. Milne plays the ball to Beningame over the halfway line for Hearts, searching diagonal ball. Chesnikov watches it drop over his right shoulder, right hand side of the penalty area, keeps the ball in play. 4 minutes of added on time, which we're now into here on BBC Radio 5 Live, to match the 4 goals that we've witnessed in this extremely entertaining first half. Milne, the left back, far side, gets it back, comes to a standstill.
You've not said that often during the 45 minutes, have you? Just slowing it down, getting his foot on the ball, just taking a little bit of a breather, but you just know both teams don't want that. They both want the 3 points, so they're both going to keep on going.
Beningame, crucial, I guess, in the absence of Devlin in the midfield. Nigel Leonard has deputised well since he's come into the side. He now passes the ball out wide. Kizaridis will come in field off that left hand side. This is Beningame, shapes the shoot. Beningame's low effort, he's dragged it right footed, well off target, and it's well wide of that left hand post for a goal kick. 2-2. Pat Nevin.
Danny Rowe was furious there with his defenders. He couldn't believe that he gave Beningame that amount of time. 22 yards out. I mean, you've got to close him down, you've got to throw bodies in the line there. They didn't get out to him close enough. Just noticed before Rangers got their equaliser there to make it 2-2, 67% of the possession they had. They were playing well, but they just, when Hearts had a chance, they took their chances. They've been absolutely fabulous in those little opportunities, either scoring or coming close to score in the very few opportunities they've had.
Well, I think you said it after Braga's header made it 2-1 to Hearts, that they've had the 2 chances and they've taken both. They've been clinical in that respect.
They have, and that's quality players. I mean, a lot of the time the problems with teams that are, not bad teams, but you need quality in the final third, and certainly Hearts have shown that through the season. And of course, always remembering they haven't got Lawrence Shanklin available.
No. Well, they've failed to score now just once in their last 14 games, and that was that defeat at St Mirren where the captain Craig Halkett was sent off after 29 minutes, which would have been a real factor to play 2/3 of the game with 10 men. And that is the game that I think has irked Derek McInnes when he talked about the lack of respect, the fallout from that defeat in Paisley, where he says his team deserve more respect and more regard. They're 2-2 here against Rangers, and we're in stoppage time in the first half. Chimiti working hard, then he was just caught by Milne.
It's tricky, isn't it? The referee's so tempted to go to his pocket each time here, but he's holding back, and he'll give him one last warning. I'm trying to see who it was over on the far side there.
It was Milne, the left back.
And it isn't his first either. It's certainly not his first foul there. And I do get it, the referee, because he could spoil this game. He really could easily spoil this game. It would only take sending one player off, and then it's 10 against 11, and then you've got one team defending.
Ball almost squeezed through towards Raskin. Rangers win the ball back, and this is Chimiti, couldn't thread it through, might fall towards Moore, shoots first time. Milne leaves it for Kazaridis to clear downfield. It was quite clear though from Don Robertson, the referee, as Butland comes a long way out of his penalty area, that's a final warning for the Hearts left back. He's in danger of persistent defending for a yellow card. as the ball goes forward towards Chimiti, and he actually is quite happy for Steinfender to make that sliding challenge. He jumped over the Austrian as it will go out for a Rangers throw. We're in stoppage time. 30 seconds remain, a minimum of 4 to be played. Moore on this near side, keeps the ball in play. Steinfender, though, actually able to clear it for Hearts, and then it will go for a Rangers throw. A little look at the watch from referee Don Robertson.
I think he wants to blow it just now. I think he thinks this is pretty fair, this is pretty even, but there's another 6 seconds to go. No.
Half time at Ibrox. Rangers 2, Hearts 2 at the top of the table. They knew at the start of play that Celtic had got a 96th minute winner at Rugby Park for Kilmarnock 2, Celtic 3, and then these two have slugged it out in these wet conditions. Leonard lashing the ball in after a defensive error from Fernandez after 16 minutes. It was eventually credited to a Steinfender own goal after it looked like the Nadiri had pounced within 60 seconds to bring Rangers level. 10 minutes later, Braga's looping header put Hearts back in front, but then after 38 minutes, Chimiti equalised for the second time. Your thoughts, Pat Nevin?
Well, fantastic, committed game of football from a bunch of players that are just putting absolutely everything in for 45 minutes, and it does absolutely feel like a cup tie. In fact, it feels like a cup semi-final. And you expect some of these games, to provide excitement and real quality and real skill, and now and again they let you down. And because the three teams are battling for everything, you think, can it live up to it? Yeah, it absolutely has so far, and I just hope that they get the same in the second half. I think Rangers are probably just shading as the better side, but they are the home side, and it's understandable. However, you have a look at how good at Hearts are on the break and the technical skills they've got there. This is a cracker, and I cannot read what's going to happen in the second half.
Rangers 2, Hearts 2. More of the same in the second half, please.
Oh, yeah. It just shows, Pat, what happens when you get two challengers in a title race who don't look at a meeting between themselves as, well, we better be careful here, we better be cautious, they're just going hell for leather. It's brilliant.
It is brilliant. Now, Rangers have got more of the ball and more of the possession and probably more of the chances. But Hearts haven't come here thinking we might sneak a draw. They haven't come here thinking we're just going to play in the break. No, they're giving everything to it. And that's one of the big things that Derek McInnes is. I mean, it's easy if you're, to some degree, if you're Celtic and Rangers, but if you are Hearts, to keep that attitude all the way through, particularly away from home, at Ibrox or a Celtic Park or whatever, it's not easy because it's inbred in some of the players' minds. And maybe, as Deno was suggesting to me earlier on, there is it 9 players currently of the Hearts team are not from Scotland anyway, are from different nations.
With Steinfender's introduction, yes.
Exactly. So that might tell you something about, the psychology is there of we don't care, we're going to go for it. But the manager has to breed that into you too. So I would applaud Derek McInnes and the way he set up his team to do that today as well.
Claudio Braga is not small, he's 5'11", but you can look it when you're surrounded by absolutely huge central defenders. That is a gloriously clever header, isn't it?
It is, really. You need to go and think about it. I mean, he's a clever player. We talked about him before the game, and he plays as a 10. Actually, he's playing more as a 9 just now, but he is more of a natural 10, but he can adapt and change there. But yeah, the ball was behind his, he's going behind him. It's one of those ones where most players would think, actually, I'll just cushion it and I'll hold it off and I'll see if I can play anyone in, as he did earlier on to lay on a goal. But he just knew he could get enough purchase on it, and it's a brilliant amount of purchase he's got on it, because the ball's slightly behind him in his head, he's jumping backwards, but everything is against him to make that work there, but he still managed to get just enough and also have the awareness to put it in the only place the goalkeeper couldn't get it to. Fabulous goal, but then we had a few good goals today.
Cracking first half. Pat, Ian, thank you. Cannot wait for the second half of that one. Rangers 2, Hearts 2. Half-time in the Scottish Premiership. 4 goals then at Ibrox. 4 in the first half at the Emirates. Less of a contest, John Akers.
Wigan will not be looking forward to the second half, I wouldn't have thought, Steve. Arsenal 4, Wigan 0. All the goals coming in a 16-minute period where Arsenal just played straight balls, sliding the ball through to the front three, and they were just finishing them off. So Noni Madueke got the first. Eza with a lovely pass, split the defence. It was a left foot finish from just inside the box. Then Martinelli, Eza again with the ball through, left foot across the goalkeeper this time from Martinelli. Jack Hunt with an unfortunate own goal, just kind of hit him. Keeper couldn't keep it out. Saka's ball across that was. And then Gabriel Jesus, a dink ball over the top from Norgard. And he took a lovely first touch and then a really nice dink. If you're a fan of a dink, it was a good one. Jack Hunt went off injured. Matthew Smith, against his former club with an FA Cup winners medal, is on, but there's a lot of work to do. Damage limitation really stuff, Steve, from Wigan. Second half, Arsenal 4, Wigan 0.
Lots of reaction on the way to the best of today's live sport, including Martin O'Neill and Sonia Bonpastor, all before second half commentary from Ibrox. That's coming up after the news on 5 Live with Joe Hornby.
The voice of the UK.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Team GB has its second gold medal of the Winter Olympics. Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale have won the snowboard cross mixed team final. It's Great Britain's first ever gold medal on the snow and the first time 2 gold medals have been won in a single Winter Olympics. The former leader of the Liberal Democrats, Sir Vince Cable, has described the actions of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor while he was a trade envoy as being totally unacceptable. Mr Cable told the BBC that a government investigation is now needed alongside a check on whether criminal corruption took place. Mr Mountbatten-Windsor has previously denied any wrongdoing. Gaza's civil defence agency says at least 12 people have been killed in Israeli airstrikes across the territory overnight. The Israeli military said the airstrikes were in response to ceasefire violations by Hamas. And Southend Coast Guards have been called out after an Amazon driver appeared to attempt a delivery into the sea yesterday evening. They said the driver followed his GPS along the Broomway, a 600-year-old pathway into the Thames estuary. Amazon said it was investigating.
Steve Bracknell here, the assistant manager of Sunday League team the Royal Oak FC. Are you sick of changes to our beautiful game? 5-minute stoppages for VAR checks.
VAR, the talking point again after a 5-minute plus delay.
Cryotherapy ice chambers. Holes in back at socks. XG double pivots and inverted wing backs. The game's well and truly gone, and I'm here to bring it back. Game's gone. The Steve Bracknell Podcast. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sports with Steve Crossman.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Rangers 2, Hearts 2, half-time at Ibrox, second half commentary on the way on what has already been a historic day for Team GB at the Winter Olympics. For the first time ever, they've won 2 gold medals at the same games. Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale winning the second of them today in the snowboard cross mixed team final. But let's be greedy, Katie Smith, because there could be another one yet today.
Well, just think, Steve, you say that Team GB never won 2 in 1 games. I mean, there's genuine potential they could win 2 in 1 day today, and it could be history for Matt Weston as well. He goes last in this new mixed team event in the skeleton alongside Tabby Stoker, won that gold on Friday night. He could become the first Briton ever at a Winter Games to win 2 golds. As we know, though, unpredictable. And just to explain, this mixed team is a little bit different from the individual events. So you go woman and man, the female rider goes first, has 1 chance. It is 1 run, not 4 across 2 days as we saw in the individual events. Then the man goes, the time is added together. The crucial thing though is that the start is a little bit different. So they try and make it like an F1 start. This is a sport built on split second speed reaction times, and that is what they're going for. So they have 5 red lights at the start. They count down when the 5 red lights appear. Then there is a random time between the lights appearing and turning off. As soon as they turn off, the clock starts, and that is when the athletes can go. So it's really important that they go as quick as possible, because once the clock is ticking, that adds to their time. They don't get another opportunity to reduce their time with another run. But also crucially, there are time penalties for false starts, and there could be disqualifications as well if you go way too early. So it all adds pressure and it adds drama. Great Britain have 2 pairs going, Freya Tarbett and Marcus Wyatt, and then Tabby Stoker and Matt Weston will be very last, so they will know what they need to beat when they go down the run.
For one horrible moment when you said it's like an F1 start, I thought you meant they all go at the same time. That would be a spectator spot.
Yeah. I'm surprised they haven't sent us there to have a look.
Thank you, Katie. We'll obviously be right across that, and especially when it comes to what could be a gold medal run again. It's been a heck of a day at the Winter Olympics. The football, we haven't really had an FA Cup shock so far today. That includes Leeds United beating Birmingham on what was a great game, though. Penalty shootout in the end for Leeds, squeezing through to FA Cup round 5 for the third time in 4 years. Here's manager Daniel Farke.
If you want to take part in football, you have to be prepared also to take sometimes a sucker punch. Yeah, sometimes, of course, you hope that you travel away with a dirty 1-0 win, anyhow, after 90 minutes. But yeah, sometimes there is a deflected strike, anyhow. They had a few corner kicks too many. We cleared the corner kick, and then the ball comes in from 25 yards, and I think it was James Justin who deflected it with his head. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit written in the stars, but it's important then to not feel sorry for yourself, to find another way to deal with the setback. And I'm quite happy that we also found a solution for this question.
Can you have a cup run and stay up in the league? Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible. It's perhaps not realistic that we win the FA Cup, but you also start sometimes to play football not just for realistic targets. So, of course, if there is a chance, we would like to go for it, but step by step. We are not the favourite to win the cup. Right now, we're on the 5th round, which is quite good, at least by our standards anyhow. And for that, it would be good to have a good draw. And if there is a chance also to go into the next round, we'll definitely go for it.
Daniel Farke there with George Cummins. Also wins for Wolves 1-0 at Grimsby, Sunderland 1-0 at Oxford United, and Fulham 2-1 at Stoke City. Half-time Arsenal 4, Wigan 0 in the day's other FA Cup games. Celtic came from 2-0 down to beat Kilmarnock with a 96th minute goal, which helps them as they look to defend their Scottish title this season. This was Martin O'Neill's 300th game in charge overall.
It was a wonderful second half performance by us. I thought we were very poor in the first half. As a team defending, we weren't that good. Then when we had it, we gave it away at times. But the second half was totally different. We came out, renewed energy, renewed spirit, made some changes at half time, and then Seb scores this wonder goal for us and puts us right back in the game. And we've culminating in us winning the match.
I can only imagine you had to call upon some of your words of wisdom at half-time to re-energise the side to get that lift that you required.
I think sometimes, I thought that Kilmarnock adapted to them, and no, it's their home pitch, but they adapted to the conditions, both the rain and the pitch and all that there, much better than we did, And sometimes you just really have to dig in, and I thought in the second half that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, there is clearly this relentlessness about Celtic, not just this season, not just recently, but over the years. We know that. But the fact remains, as you say, you were probably below par first half. You don't want to be getting into that sequence of always needing to come up with dramatic late winners, do you?
I agree more with you. Absolutely. You can't do this. You can't keep doing that. We've got to put in the full 90 minutes, and you might get your reward after. You might not do, but you can't play in just little spurts like that there and hope that something comes at the end. The spirit the players have shown has just been absolutely fantastic. I just said in a previous interview there that I coached a really, really top quality side here 20 odd years ago, who had loads of spirit, loads of resilience, loads of ability. These lads here they're emulating that anyway, if in many aspects sometimes surpassing.
Just finally, do you care what happens at Ibrox?
It's not that you don't care. Of course you'll keep an interest in the game. But from today, we've won a game. We've come from behind. We've taken the 3 points in a fantastic second half performance. And I feel as if whatever happens at Ibrox happens.
Martin O'Neill speaking to BBC Scotland's Alistair Lamont. So as it stands, with it being Rangers 2, Hearts 2 at half-time, Celtic have moved up to 54 points. That would have them 4 points behind the leaders with a game in hand. In the Women's Super League, Manchester United have stayed second above Chelsea in third after they both won this afternoon. United beat London City Lionesses 2-1. Chelsea beat Liverpool 2-0. Other scores were Everton 1, West Ham 0, and Aston Villa 3, Tottenham Hotspur 7. In the rugby, France thrashed Wales 54-12 in the Six Nations. France got 8 tries. It's their biggest win against Wales in Cardiff. They topped the Six Nations table on 10 points after round 2. You can see all the tries from this weekend's action on Rugby Special on BBC One at midnight. The latest Rugby Union Weekly is available on BBC Sounds. Remember, it's out every day during the tournament. In Super League, Wigan beat Castleford 26-16 to complete the opening round of the new season. India beat Pakistan by 60 51 runs in Colombo to confirm their place in the Super 8s of the T20 World Cup. West Indies also qualified for the Super 8s with a convincing win over Nepal, whilst the US eased past Namibia to claim their second group stage victory. You're up today and the lines are open for 606. So 08085 909 693. Get your calls in to speak to Chris Sutton and Aaron Paul, and we are ready to roll for the second half at Ibrox. Just 45 minutes more like the first one, please. Pat Nevins with Ian Dennis.
Thank you, Steve. Waiting for the two teams to come out here at Ibrox, but I think both sets of supporters will have enjoyed that first half, Pat.
Yeah, I don't know if you're a football fan, you have to enjoy that because there was so much excitement. A lot of good play as well. A couple of mistakes, yeah, but it wasn't about the mistakes most of the time. It was about the committed attitude you had from both sets of players. There's so many twists and turns to happen in this league campaign, but there's a lot of twists and turns to happen in this next 45 minutes. And I'm looking down below us here and I'm looking at Rangers Asgard. It was maybe a slight surprise that Asgard didn't start. And he looks to me as if he's ready to come on either now or very, very soon. Maybe there is an injury, and certainly we saw Chermiti hobbling a little bit near the end of the half there. And before we even see that, Hearts are going to make a change as well. So
yeah, Jordi Altena is going to be coming on. So in terms of the League of Nations for Hearts, that is another different nationality. The Dutch defender signed in January from Vitesse Arnhem. He's extremely versatile. We'll wait to see who he's going to come on for. Rangers haven't made any changes. We're still awaiting some of the other Hearts players to come out. Here comes the referee. In fact, there's Braga. So in fact, the player who is going to be going off is Agu. In fact, it's going to be a double change as well, is it?
Yeah, Chesnev, he coming off as well.
And so Kabori's come on.
Yeah.
So Kabori will lead the line. Chesnikov has gone off. So Kabori now will play up front. Claudio Braga will play behind him. Chesnikov is the player making way for Kabore. And then obviously we've got Altena, who's come onto the field as well. So they're the changes that have been made here for Hearts, who in this second half are going to play from right to left in their maroon shirts and white shorts, and we're back underway. Rangers 2, Hearts 2. So Agu, after his first start, makes way. Altena is versatile. He can also play in midfield as well, the Dutchman. But Kabore will try and give them a little bit more of a physical presence. So the two teams, Butland in goal for Rangers, Sterling, Suter, Fernandes and Romans the back four, Chukwueze and Raskin in the centre of midfield, with Sko Olsen, Mikey Moore, Ryan Nadiri and Youssef Chermiti. Twice Rangers have come from behind. Hearts have Schwoloff in goal, a back four of Steinfender, first half substitute. Halkett and Findlay are the two central defenders. Milner's the left back. You've then got Leonard and Beningame in the centre of midfield, with Kizaridis, Braga, Altena and Kabore now leading the line. Hearts have been awarded a free kick on this near side to left. They're attacking the Broomloan stand of the ground, for those of you who know Ibrox. Attacking from right to left. Milne to take it, left-footed. It's an in-swinger. It drops rather awkwardly. Referee's blown his whistle as it comes out towards Kazaridis on that far side, and Butland wants to take the free kick quickly. What do you make about the changes then, Pat?
Yeah, interesting, because they're not negative. They're absolutely not negative, certainly for Hearts. There's no negativity about the game. Kabore, I thought he might have started, I have to say. But it gives Braga a chance to sort of drop a little bit. Now, he's playing slightly more to the left just now, but try and pick up a few possessions. He was working his socks off in the first half, and he needs to leave some energy. You know, Claudio Braga is a fabulous player, but he was running himself into the ground there. So hopefully Hearts fans will think he'll get a little bit more ball in the pocket.
Well, Altena, who is an option for them at right back, is actually just sitting in the midfield at the moment, alongside Beningame, who gets that block in there for Hearts, and Fernandes. So Rangers in their royal blue white shirts and white shorts, playing from left to right, attacking the Copeland stand away towards that right hand side, as we sit low down in this main stand, just to the left of the halfway line, and Sterling waits to take the throw for what is Danny Rolls' 100th league game in his managerial career. 81 of them were during his time at Sheffield Wednesday, as Braga tries to outrun Suter. He might run out Suter, but he won't outrun Chimiti and also Raskin, as 3 royal blue shirts were drawn towards Claudio Braga.
He's got great energy, hasn't he? I mean, he's paced there. The one question you would say about Braga, he's playing now on the left-hand side, more of that left attacker, but he's going to have to go and track Sterling a bit. So he looks so good in an attacking sense, Claudio Braga, in the first half, whereas now he can't leave Sterling because Sterling's going to run off him. On the other hand, maybe that was Derek McInnes' thinking, to stop Sterling going forward.
That's Pat Nevin with us on BBC Radio 5 Live, as Ben Engemy on the halfway line manages to get away from Raskin, passes the ball towards Findlay, the central defender. Milne is making himself available and collects the ball on the halfway line. Infield, ball played forward by Leonard, gets the return, and then on the stretch. And in fact, the referee is going to penalise Leonard here for catching Chupawani in the midfield, and he is shown a yellow card. He is the second Hearts player to be booked.
Again, nothing nasty in it, nothing evil in it. Stretching towards the ball. The game's been played at such a pace, and the referee on this occasion, and to be honest, there were 3 or 4 other occasions there in the first half, he could have given yellow cards out easily, very easily, and that's why the players look a bit disgusted and thinking that's not any worse than the others.
Here is Raskin once again in between the 2 central defenders inside the centre circle on the halfway line. Forward ball along the ground. Sko Olsen will play it back. Raskin, who was out of favour, completely overlooked during Russell Martin's time. Chimiti, ball cut out by Braga, pops back to Chimiti, plays it forward. Sterling was alert. Milne had to get that one right, bearing in mind he's on a yellow card.
He loves that tackle, doesn't he, Milne? Flying down the left-hand side, and you're absolutely spot on. It's one of those ones, because it's a slide tackle, because you're going at pace, if you miss it at all, you're off 100%.
Corner kick on this near side, the right. It's taken short by Rangers. To Moore, gives it back to Sko Olsen, plays it on the edge of the area towards Sterling. Actually went away from the box, so it almost was 30 yards out from goal before Rangers could play the ball down towards that left-hand side, and then a little bit of a miss kick, but in the end it comes in from Chimiti, and then headed forward by Sko Olsen. Fernandez has stayed forward. Hearts get the ball away, and then the referee is a head injury, so Don Robertson, the ref, is left with no choice for Halkett, who's down, the captain, to give the free kick to Hearts and stop play.
Kiziridis is absolutely devastated by that. He was flying up the left wing. He had the run in the entire Rangers defence. He had the whole half to run into there. But the referee, you're right, he's got absolutely no choice. He has to stop it. It is a head injury. And that is the best moment, the best chance that Kiziridis has had. He's been pulled back for his own player.
I once had well, I thought it was funny. I'm not too sure Martin O'Neill would think it was funny. It was an encounter at a football writers' dinner in Birmingham a few years ago regarding a horse race. And it was of a certain nature, and I asked Martin whether I should actually do this, and Martin said, yeah, do it. And I don't think he knew the nature of the horse race for an after-dinner circuit, but I'm just thinking about, as he travels back from Kilmarnock, about this race that he's involved in now, a 3-way battle that is absolutely compelling at the top of the Scottish Premiership, as Hearts, the leaders, try and attack now, and then the back heel from Kazaridis. He thought Milne was behind him inside left channel of the penalty area. But that top of the table has just tightened even more after Celtic, and we heard from Martin at half-time. They came from 2-0 down to beat Kilmarnock by 3-2 with a 96th minute winner. So they've moved within 3 points of Hearts. If it stays like that, the lead at the top would be 4 points. But Rangers are right in the thick of it as well. And Hearts now get a free kick because Kabore has battled hard for it.
Let's keep the horse race analogy going on there. Hearts have been front runners for quite some time, but Celtic and Rangers coming up on the rails, that's not easy, is it? They're coming up on the rails, hammering in behind you, and that's what it feels like if your Hearts just now. The lovely thing for Hearts, they don't look as if they've been affected by it, do they? They are going for it. They're 2-2, they're away from home at Ibrox, and they are still trying to make changes and trying to push forward as often as they can.
Milne with the free kick, plays it forward. Nobody's picked up Braga. Braga's able to turn and send over the cross, and it's headed towards Kabore, cleared away by Rangers, and then Moore runs into trouble and Hearts get the ball back. The thing is, if you want to keep the parlance going about the horse racing, they don't have the course and distance to Hearts. You know, this is a side that hasn't won the title since 1960. But Pat is quite right, they've been up to the top for so long now. People keep thinking, oh, they'll fade away. I mean, I remember George Burley's side. That was over 20 years ago, that the days of Rudy Skatchel, where they came out of the blocks and were flying, and then they were unable to make it all those years ago. Well, they haven't faltered as yet, haven't Hearts. 2-2 here.
They've lasted a lot longer, and if you want to watch or listen to the Romanoff documentary, I think it's on BBC Sounds, and it's brilliant.
Ball forward, and the goalkeeper Butland was alert to it. Might have taken a deflection that just took a lot of the pace off the ball as Braga tried to make a run off the left touchline. The BBC bosses will be happy with that cross promotion, Pat.
Exactly.
Talking of which, tomorrow, FA Cup action on 5 Live. Macclesfield, Brentford. Mark Chapman live from Moss Rose. As the ball is played forward by Chukwani, and it's too far ahead of Sterling, and it goes out of play for a throw. 2-2.
You see what I was telling you there again about Sterling? He's flying up his right hand side, but look who's with him. It's Braga again, but he's running the legs off Braga, isn't he? And Braga's, that good a player who's already scored one and made one, you want him to have energy in the final third. So by putting him out to the left wing here and not leaving him as a 10, it's going to wreck him. That's why a player knows these things. You have to chase, you have to run, you put in the miles, but it wears you down.
The flip side of that, though, I guess, is that when Sterling does go on, if he stays up, I remember Chris Waddle saying that's what they told him at Marseille. They said, you just stay out wide on the left-hand side, we'll get the ball to you. If he did that, it would give Rangers something to think about, wouldn't it? Because then all of a sudden they've got an outball, Hearts.
Yeah, it's very, very seldom that happens.
Chimiti, right-hand side of the area, unable to control the ball behind for a goal kick.
It's extraordinary Chimiti to watch as a player, isn't he? 1 minute he'll do something absolutely brilliant. Referee's changed his mind there in a corner, and he's right to change his mind. He got it wrong. And I think he will listen to his assistant referee over that side there, who had a much, much better view of it, and I think he's made the right call there.
11 minutes into the second half. Rangers have got a corner kick right-hand side. The short option is available because of Moore. It's not utilised. It goes towards the far post. They're appealing for handball. And then the shot eventually comes in from Chimiti. The Rangers players are going towards referee Don Robertson. VAR will have a look at it.
I think he's headed it onto his own arm, and I think that's why, and I think the referee's quite comfortable that's exactly what happened. So yeah, the ball does hit the arm, but from my first view of it, and we're a distance away, my first view seemed to be headed onto his own arm.
And the fact that Don Robertson has already said to Alexander Shvolov, hurry up and take the goal kick, tells you that the VAR has had a look at it and has dismissed it already.
VAR that's having a very good weekend this weekend by not being on and the mistakes that are being made when it's not there.
Well, I am sure that will be a talking point for Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage on 606, and the lines are indeed open. 08085909693. And Chris will also have a thought or two on the title race in Scotland.
Yeah, it's an analogy to a phrase in football. You sometimes can be a better player by not playing if your team has a stinker.
Here is Sko Olsen, keeps the ball in play for Rangers on this near side, the right. Back with Sterling, the right back gives it to the Danish international. Time to measure the cross, unmarked. In it comes now, brilliant header. Chimiti, his second of the game. He pounced, he leapt, and he delivered the ball with real power inside the near post. And for the first time at Ibrox, Rangers take the lead, 3-2.
It is a brilliant header, and by the way, what a cross. And your commentary there nails it by saying he's got the time to steady himself. He's got an opportunity to take it in. There's nobody closing him down. If you're a wide player and you're given that amount of space, you should be able to pick out a player. And of course, if it's a tall player at that front post there, he's able to do it. But far, far, far too much time there was given to him to be able to put that ball into the box there. It's come into the near post. And a lovely, lovely header at that near post. But Sko Olsen, the amount of time he had there was absolutely incredible, wasn't it?
I mean, I talked about the leap he's come across and he's really attacked it, hasn't he, Chimiti?
He has. But to us, he will attack it. He will completely and utterly go and attack that one in the near post if there's nobody there. And you know that the player's just about to place it wherever he wants to, because he's going to. There's no stress on him. I can't say it enough. As a wide player, if you're giving the ball out wide and you've got 10 yards around you and time to hold up the ball, you can pick out whoever you want, and that's exactly what he does. But take nothing away from Shimmy. By the way, I said 10 yards. Let's make that 20 yards. He's got all the time in the world to put that ball in. But Shimiti's finished. I was just saying, what an incredible player. He will miscontrol half of the balls he gets, but then he goes and scores 2 goals in this almightily important game. And once again, Roddy Forsyth said to me early on, remember, he scored 2 against Celtic.
Well, he's on course for a hat-trick.
I'm trying to see who got that yellow card there.
Oh, by the way, Tavernier has come on to replace Dujon Sterling. So Rangers have made a change at right back. James Tavernier for what is his 556th appearance for the club.
By the way, do you know we were talking about Milne's slide tackles and the fact that he could have been booked earlier on and he was on his last warning? Well, he's had it. He didn't get the yellow card.
So Milne has now been booked, which isn't a surprise. Ibrox is bouncing. It is literally bouncing. All sides of Ibrox of a Rangers persuasion jumping up and down. 10-6 on a Sunday evening. Twice they have been behind. They've come from behind and now they lead by 3-2 in this fluctuating title race that would take them back second, and it would take them to within touching distance of Hearts. Hearts who've won both games this season against Rangers, and indeed were unbeaten in all 5 against the Old Firm. Now what have the league leaders got to do as Milne comes forward for Hearts? On this left-hand side, Milne tries to deliver the cross. Suter heads it behind for a corner kick. They've only had 2 chances of Hearts, but they've scored from both of them. Yeah,
and that's the capabilities they've got. I just wonder, I was talking a lot about the fact that they moved Claudio Braga out to the left wing, and you're thinking, yeah, I understand why you're doing it, I get it. But that's not where he's best. That's not where you really want him. You want him in that middle area where he can score, he can make goals, and he can make chances for everyone.
Milne with the out-swinging corner. Steinfender beaten in the air, won't drop towards Leonard. He comes under pressure as he now collects the ball, plays it forward. That was a sharp turn. Braga goes down inside the area. Halkett has a shot that is charged down and blocked. Hearts meanwhile are still attacking. Braga was quickly back to his feet. Leonard can't keep the ball in play. It will be a goal kick. Rangers lead 3-2, and it's taken very quickly. Rangers are happy to keep the pace of this game going. Chimiti goes forward, makes the run, gets onto it, right hand side of the penalty area, tries to cross the ball back into the box, but he's beaten to it by Beningame. But Braga's tired.
Who was brilliant. Beningame was absolutely phenomenal there. Seen when the dangers was, knew his centre back was going to outpace and went back in there like a classic number 6 and killed the danger. But exactly what I was saying about Braga, you've just ran the legs off him. What legs he had left in him, he's now ran them out, and it's a shame for him, because that little chance there he had in the box, he nearly turned in, he nearly got a chance, nearly got a penalty kick, and that was because he was central for a moment.
Since Danny Roll was appointed as Rangers manager, no side has won more points in the Scottish Premiership than Rangers. They're looking to take that tally to 46. They're right in the thick of the title race. They're leading by 3-2. They've shown real resolve. Cross comes in from the left-hand side, and trying to get on the end of it was Nadiri. It's headed behind for a corner kick, and Hearts are having to dig deep. Rangers lead 3-2.
Well, you hesitate to say it, but if Rangers did get another goal now, you struggle to see Hearts getting back.
Corner taken short and taken quickly. Sko Olsen with a cross. Headed away to the edge of the area by Hearts. Headed further away by Braga. Tavernier will leave it towards Romans, and Romans goes back, much to the groans of the Rangers support, all the way to Butland. Pat.
Well, Rangers have made 1 change, but Hearts have made quite a few. Problem is, Rangers still got the pressure, and they've got other players to bring on just now. Big calls from the substitutes now.
Nobody's picked up Sko Olsen. Sko Olsen pulls it back. This is Mikey Moore, right-footed, rifles it over inside the penalty area.
Well, that's a Braga thing. Talked about it as soon as they changed the position in the second half. They chased back, and what you suggested, maybe he shouldn't chase back. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens. A, they've lost a goal on that right-hand side, and B, there's another opportunity. And his full-back behind him saying, you're letting him go. You need to follow him. But Braga, I understand his position. He's thinking, you must let me attack. Having said that, they've changed it now, haven't they?
They have. No sooner you were saying that, Kizaridis has now come out to the left, and Braga's gone back into that central position behind Kabora.
Exactly what they should have done, and I don't know why. I know why Derry McInnes made that change. It simply didn't work.
Milne, the left back, looks for the forward run of Leonard. Leonard keeps the ball in play on this near side, the left. Kizaridis now leaves it for Leonard to take over. Milne, now with Halkett, the central defender, inside the centre circle. He goes out wide. Schweinbender, Beningame. Sustained passage of play by Hearts, bearing in mind that Rangers have dominated in terms of possession. Ball wouldn't go with Kizaridis on this near left-hand side. Milne on the overlap. Kizaridis tries to find him with a short forward ball, but there was Tavernier to stop play, and Raskin, just sitting deep, will chip the ball out to this near side. Nadiri tries to keep the ball in play. He took a little bit of a tumble into a cameraman down below. As Rangers get the ball up towards Timiti. Good hold at play, good close control too on the halfway line. Back now towards Sko Olsen. Timiti returns the ball. Little flick there by Chukwuani. The Rangers supporters are enjoying the football as Raskin spreads the ball out wide left-hand side. They lead by 3-2, where earlier Celtic beat Kilmarnock by that scoreline after being 2-0 down.
I mean, this would bring Rangers right back into it. 2 points behind Hearts if they can hold on to it just now. Point above Celtic as well. Oh, I mean, it's been a great campaign so far, but they're all bunching just now, especially if it finishes 3-2 to Rangers.
Rangers are forward, left-hand side. Romans with the cross. As it stands, you're going to have the top three separated by just 3 points.
And by the way, is it 2 weeks' time? Yep. Rangers versus Celtic, where we're sitting right now. That might be quite tasty.
Just a little. And then you've got the split after the games on the 11th of April. Raskin, square ball. Suter hits it into the penalty area. Moore heads it on. The goalkeeper comes to collect it. Hasn't. Robbins hits it. Blocked. Edge of the area. Shot fired back in and fired wide by Chukwuani. Goal kick. 3-2 Rangers.
Yeah, a bit of a painful one there for Halkett's gone down there. I don't think there was any foul involved in it as well, but Mikey Moore had a wee opportunity there, didn't he? Just in that far side there, and he wasn't able to generate the power with his header that Claudio Braga managed a wee bit earlier on. But it hasn't stopped, has it? It's kept on going at the pace we wanted to keep it going at. But the players are looking leggy now. And some of them, you know, the body language, there's lots of players walking about limping just now. The referee's not allowed the physios on yet. Halkett's still not moved yet. Yeah. That was quite a long way, wasn't it? An oddly long way.
He was caught by his own goalkeeper. Now he's allowed the two physios on. I'm just going to be quiet, just for 30 seconds, and let you soak up this atmosphere inside Ibrox. Blue and white flags and the scarves are flying in the Copeland stand away towards our right hand side. This is turning back into a fortress. You think back at the start of the season, Russell Martin only had 1 win from his 8 games. This would be a 7th successive win in the league.
But it's the fact that you just do not recognise this group. And there's a number of players you do not recognise them as players, because there's a fearlessness again against Rangers. They're not playing towards systemised. The thought, the heart, the ideology of one individual, which they were working on before. It's as if the manager said to him, look, you're good players. Go and play. Go and show how good you are. Just give it a go every time. And by the way, if you're 3-2 up, make it 4-2, which is very much the Rangers tradition.
And a vibrant Ibrox will go to Arsenal and John Akers in the FA Cup 4th round.
Very different atmosphere here because Arsenal are 4-0 up. Arsenal 4, Wigan 0. All the goals coming in 16 first half minutes, and Arsenal have dominated. To be fair to Wigan, they haven't capitulated in this second half, and they have given a little go. They've had a few attacks. The fans have all stayed, 5,000 of them, but Arsenal leading 4-0 with 19 minutes of normal time remaining.
Earlier, Leeds United knocked out Birmingham City on penalties at St Andrews. Wolves beat Grimsby by 1-0. Oxford United 0, Sunderland 1. Stoke City 1, Fulham 2. So they're all into the 5th round draw tomorrow. You'll hear it on BBC Radio 5 Live, where we bring you live coverage of Macclesfield against Brentford, live from Moss Rose. Kelly Cates with the Tuesday Night Club, pushed back 24 hours, and then on Wednesday 5:30 you'll hear Pat Nevin. Now the next time you'll hear him, he will be in Baku with John Murray for Karabag against Newcastle United on Wednesday evening, where our coverage starts at 5:30.
And it's a lovely place, Baku. Been there before. Fabulous place, very modern. Parts of it are, the original sort of place is brilliant as well, so hope we get a good game as well.
Just over 51,000 inside Ibrox this afternoon. Been treated to 5 goals as Rangers put pressure on that Hearts back line. That was awkward of a back pass for Schwoloff, who sliced and skied his clearance, and it will go out for a Rangers throw over on that far side. It was Altena who didn't do him any real favours. It was an awkward one to control. From the throw, here is Moore, busy, lively. He's pierced that back line with the ball out towards the right. Tavernier stands over the cross. Nadiri is there with a downward header, and then it's cleared by Finlay at the heart of the Hearts defence. Kabore challenged quickly. Tavernier just can't get there as Leonard sends it down the line, but the last went out of play.
I mean, you'll have to, well, I'll ask you that question in a minute, 'cause it's quite interesting. The bookings, has Scott Olsen had a booking? I thought he had one for diving in the first half.
Yes, he did.
Right, he's just dived again. That is stupid. He got away with it, but he's done it again. If I was his manager, I'd be tempted to take him off just now. That is madness to do it at this moment in a game.
Here is Kabore dropping back for Hearts, playing from right to left. We're past the midway point of the second half. I'll tell you what Rangers won't be doing. They were guilty of time wasting against Motherwell on Wednesday night with a 1-0 lead, with a 1-goal advantage here tonight. This support inside Ibrox won't allow them to do exactly the same against that impressive Motherwell outfit as they did against in midweek for here, this one against Hearts.
It's a tough one to see out because of the pace of the game.
Chimity wins the ball just over the halfway line, runs at the Hearts defence. Edge of the area he goes, didn't look really in full control of the ball. Milne comes into a central area, the blonde-haired left back for Hearts, holds onto the ball, plays it out towards Kizaridis on this near side. Tavernier goes with him. He now switches play out towards the Hearts right over on that far side. Kabore wants the ball to feet. Instead, Hearts will come forward with Braga, passes the ball out to Milne, the attacking left back, level with the area. Milne sends over the cross, and Romans manages to get the ball away for Rangers. Under 20 minutes remaining. Rangers 3, Hearts 2, live on 5 Live and the BBC Sounds app. Milne infield, Beningame gives it back to Milne, now towards Lennon, opens play up, Steinbender, the right back, first half substitute. Altena, Kabore shows, Leonard under pressure, had to choose which way to turn. They drift out towards that right hand side to the maroon shirts, ball in towards Kabore, stopped by Raskin, picked up by Nadiri, runs forward, the lanky forward. He was upended and he's lost the ball. You can still feel the tension though inside this stadium.
There's moments it feels like a rugby game. One just runs at the other, the tackle, run at the other, tackle, and it just goes on and on and on. And just at the moment, Hearts have had a good little 3 or 4 minutes, haven't they? It looks as if they're going to get swamped, but just the last 3 or 4 minutes, they've held it. Derek McInnes has said to his midfield, try and get a little bit of control, foothold in the game, and then you can build from there. And they're trying to make it almost a 4-2-4 they're playing with. Braga a little bit more central, which should help.
Ball wrapped forward but goes astray and goes out for a goal kick. Unbeaten in 5 against the Old Firm this season. They've won 4 and drawn 1. They've won both of their encounters against Rangers this season. Indeed, It would have only have been the 4th time in their history for them to have won 3 successive games against Rangers. The last would have been actually in the same season of 1986 when Alex MacDonald was the manager of Hearts. They had the lead on 2 occasions, 2 separate occasions. Now the league leaders are behind.
I mean, you're just now looking at Derek McInnes thinking, what can you do? What options have you got? And he has made a few changes, obviously substitutions, but he's trying to adapt that system up the front there. But you've got to see in this second half, the 2 centre-backs for Rangers, Fernandes and Suter, they've been fabulous in this second half so far.
Magnussen is going to be coming on, Thomas Magnussen, who scored that winner against Hibs in the 88th minute in midweek. The Icelandic midfielder is going to be coming on for Hearts. We'll see who Derek McInnes is going to take off. We've got 17 minutes of normal time remaining, and Hearts have been awarded a free kick. Now we get sight of Magnussen, who was signed from Reykjavik in the summer. The ball is hit forward by Findlay. He's actually won his last 3 games against Rangers, if you include his time back at Kilmarnock. Sko Olsen with a header away. Nadiri tries to twist his upper body to chest the ball forward. Halken is there to win it back for Hearts. Milne digs the ball out, looks for Kabori down this near side the left. It bounces off Kabori and out for a Rangers throw. Just over 16 minutes remaining, Pat. Bellingham is the player to go off.
And you get, it has slowed down. You knew it was going to slow down. There are so many tired players out there, and you know it's one of these games where at the end of it there'll be a lot of players on their knees lying on their backs because they're putting so much in. It's just the question remains, is there enough energy in this Heart Midlothian side to go and have another go? You know, take it to the wall one more time just to get another chance. They've had very few, as you've said, in this game, but if they get one more, you wouldn't bet against them taking it.
That is certainly the case. 26 points from their 13 away games, the best away record in the Scottish Premiership. However, they are behind here as Magnussen, the little headband, the Alice band, heads it forward. Referee, though, much to the annoyance of Derek McInnes, who opens up his arms and bends his back in frustration as he looks up to the dark sky here in Glasgow. Decision goes against him. Mikey Moore on loan from Tottenham Hotspur, back with Raskin, almost at a walking pace for Rangers. Forward to Chukwuani, back with Raskin once again, hits it forward towards Chimiti, looks for the little flick header. Nadiri makes the run in behind. Milne on the cover, the left back, was fouled by Nadiri. Again though, he had to be alert, and he was.
He's on the edge the whole time, Milne, but in an impressive way. When he's fighting, he's battling in that kind of left centre back and left back position that he's played today. He's had a lot of questions have been asked of him, and he's answered most of them. I'm very, very impressed with Milne today.
As for Nadiri on his first start, I think it was 8 goals and 5 assists during his time in the German 3rd division. 14 minutes remaining. 6:06 on its way. Chris Sutton with his website predictions this week was up against Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, the Looney Tunes, would you believe? Timely reminder that the lines are open if you wish to speak to Chris Sutton and Robbie Savage. 08085909693. Aaron Paul is sitting in for Robbie Savage. I'll take it back, he gave me a compliment the other day, did Aaron, so make out which Looney Tunes character Chris Sutton would fill.
Nice to see we're going highbrow.
Free kick to Rangers, 14 minutes remaining. I'm struck by your words on my research about the amount of late goals that have been scored this week, Pat.
Yeah.
You said wait till the very end, at the very start.
You can't. I mean, there's only a goal in it just now. It's been played at such a rate, and I just wonder, I mean, Hearts have become a much more mature team over this season, and you know they've got a manager who's been around the block and he understands the game here, and you wouldn't be surprised if he's thinking, okay, manage this, and then with 5 or 10 minutes to go, throw everything at it, absolutely everything at it, centre backs up, you name it, because getting nothing out of this game, it would be very painful for them, but they want to leave every opportunity, and at the moment they've got a problem up front because the ball's not sticking up with the centre forward just now, and that needs to change.
Suter got something on it, helped out by Tavernier. He did just enough as a forward ball was towards Kabore.
It's tough for Kabore because he's come on and he's a talented player, but slightly light in comparison to what he's playing against just now. So holding it up against those two big centre backs has been tough. So he always wants to go beyond. The problem is it has to be the perfect ball in there, doesn't it?
You talked about the strength and depth that Rangers will have off the bench. They're going to make another double change. It's Chimiti's forward ball. Raskin breaks forward. Raskin drops to his knees inside the area, and Finlay gets the ball away. But it's going to be Ant-Man and Diamandi. I've got to say, I've always liked Diamandi in the midfield for Rangers. I remember seeing him not that long ago when they played a European tie against Manchester United at Old Trafford.
And maybe that's the big thing about Rangers just now. They are a different looking team. The system's different, style, attitude, everything is different from the previous management. However, the depth that they've got now, that is massively different from what it was before.
Tavernier with a throw on the right hand side, level the area. Headed away by Magnussen for Hearts. Knocked forward by Romans, hooked away over the head of Kizaridis. Suter heads it out to this near side. He'll go out for a Hearts throw midway through their own half. A look at the watch and 12 minutes are remaining. And Rangers still lead Hearts by 3-2. 4 goals in the first half. But that crucial one from Chimeti, the header to make it 3-2 to the home team, could be the most telling one. To take Rangers back second and to within 2 points of Hearts. As the Finnish international Ant-Man getting his final instructions. I just mentioned that they'd go within 2 points of Hearts. When Danny Roll took over, Rangers were 13 points adrift of Hearts. That's how much ground has been made up from Rangers as Nadiri slides and just can't keep the ball in play. But at least the supporters appreciate the work rate.
13 points behind, but looking as if it's going to be more week after week after week. They're totally and utterly different now. So listen to the reaction you've got to the fans that make the changes.
Well, Nadiri did ever so well when he came on as a substitute against Motherwell with his hold-up play. He's getting a standing ovation from the crowd inside Ibrox. His first league start. He gets a warm embrace from Oliver Ant-Man, who replaces him. And then the other change is going to be Sko Olsen, who, as you quite rightly said, Pat, was on a yellow card. So the Danish international on loan from Wolfsburg comes off, and Mohamed Diamandi will come on. I would imagine that Diamandi is probably more of a central midfielder than Sko Olsen, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, he's adaptable and he can play across the line quite a bit as well, so that's nothing they'll panic too much about. But Diamandi, I mean, you're really not worried about bringing somebody like that onto this game. He's been there, done that plenty of times for Rangers, and very highly rated. And as you can see from his first moments, he's got a bit of energy as well.
So Ant-Man is now playing on the right, Moore's gone to the left, Diamandi's in a central area behind Chimiti, who's got the 2 goals to help Rangers with this 3-2 lead. Back it goes to Schwoloff, the Hearts goalkeeper, all in yellow away towards our right. Suter climbs, heads the ball forward, picked up by Leonard in the centre circle for Hearts. They pass it out towards Milne, his forward ball, chested off by Braga. This is Kizaridis, closed down quickly by a stumbling Chukwuani, but it ricochets away off his shins, and in front of the Broomloan stand, it's a corner kick to Hearts, who trail.
But once again, the ball's played up front, but because Claudio Brava's up there, he holds it. He actually chests it round, a brilliant little pass round the corner with his chest, and then it creates something. You just need him to be core, you just need him to be central if something's going to happen for Hearts.
Milne with a corner kick, an outswinger on this near side, delivered deep, headed back then by, I think it was Finlay who climbed to the far post, cleared away by the Rangers defence, picked up on that far side and knocked back by Altena. And then 2 Hearts players, it's Schweinbender who hits it forward, and Suter is the one who couldn't afford to take the chance and heads it, a flying header behind for another corner kick that Kazaridis will take far side to right.
But once again, you mentioned it earlier on, that Claudio Braga's not the tallest. The header he won to put it across there and cause all sorts of panic in that Rangers defence. Again, get the ball up there to Claudio Braga if you possibly can, if you're a Hearts fan.
Corner kick for Hearts, far side to right, they trail 3-2. It's an outswinger from the right hand side. It drops towards Mikey Moore, leaves it off with a little flick towards Diamandi, and Rangers are on the break, and Ant-Man wants the ball played through the middle, but Altena was alert to it. The last line of defence with a clearance for Hearts. They play it back out towards Diamandi on that far side for the blue shirts of Rangers. And now the ball is taken forward by Robbins, but he couldn't keep it in play. It's 6:15 almost this Sunday evening here on BBC Radio 5 Live, and Rangers are leading Hearts by 3-2, and we've got 8 minutes remaining of normal time.
So they're trying to figure out what the system is with Hearts. Basically it's 4 defenders and everybody else just get yourself out the park as often as you possibly could and as much as you possibly could. Schmitty's got a yellow card there, a bit of a nonsensical one. His team was in a good position. It's a silly yellow to take.
And the free kick taken quickly. Hearts in possession. Halkett, the captain, now finds Leonard. Leonard, who gave Hearts the lead, runs forward. Mud-stained white shorts rather, as Milne comes forward, bursts into the penalty area, and the cross was spilt by Butland at his near post. And as he dropped to one knee, he was rather relieved to scoop that ball up into his arms.
He's been fantastic, Milne, on this left-hand side. I mean, his defending's been very good for the vast majority of the game. There's been a lot of last-ditch tackles in there as well, but he's hammered forward in this second half. Got to the byline twice there. Really unlucky there. Keeper catches it, but only in the second attempt there. So Milne has given it. He's one of those ones where he's going to crawl off this part tonight, isn't he?
Signed him a year ago from Partick. Harry Milne, 29 years of age, but certainly gives them an option at every opportunity. But he's gasping for some air at the moment with his hands on his hips, and he is going to take the free kick with 6 minutes of normal time remaining.
They're sitting back a bit, Rangers, now, aren't they? You know, this is the first time in the game I thought I should just sit back and accepting a little bit of pressure. I'm not sure that's a great idea.
Milne with the diagonal free kick, headed forward by Finlay. Kabori tries to get on the end of it, picked up by Jack Butland. He holds onto the ball and then throws it out underarm towards Robbins over on that far side. The crowd urge the Belgian left back to go forward over the halfway line. Finds Moore, able to turn. Moore running forward, holds off the challenge of Magnussen. Passes the ball to an unmarked Tavernier in the penalty area, back across the face of goal, and goes behind every player, it seems, inside that penalty area, some 6 yards out, and they'll let it run out for a Rangers throw.
It's a great player to watch, Mikey Moore, isn't he? When he's running with the ball, he just takes player after player after player out, and they're almost in his wake the way they follow him. But what that does is it breaks all the lines. Defenders don't know where they are. They have to leave their own men, and that should have been finished there by Rangers.
Chimity, nice turn, and turned behind by Finlay for a corner kick. He was down by the byline, swiveled quickly, fired it in, and Stuart Finlay turns it behind for a corner kick to Rangers far side the left. They lead 3-2.
Can I give you the highest praise I can possibly give to Mikey Moore? Echoes of Kvaratskhelia, the way he plays. He runs and he runs and runs. Kvaratskhelia, one of my favourite players in world football just now. But Mikey Moore, he runs just that way and he drags players along with him.
Corner kick on that far side for Rangers. It's an in-swinger. Schwoloff opts to punch, takes a little tumble, back to his feet. Ant-Man for Rangers, right corner of the area. Diamandi, another of the substitutes, leaves it to the Finnish international. They've doubled up on him, unable to try and deliver the cross, but Braga goes to ground. Another corner kick. I had some instruction in my can, so I didn't actually hear who you compared him to.
Kvaratskhelia to Mikey Moore.
Yes.
I'm not saying he's as good as him, but there's a style thing that's there, the way they run with the ball, and it's a lovely old school way of just running past players and dragging players away out of position, so that it causes chaos in the opposition defence.
I know what you mean. He's very easy on the eye.
Certainly is. And hard working as well. That's the other thing.
Corner kick for Rangers. In it comes from Tavernier. Edge of the area. Volleyed back in! And volleyed just wide by Oliver Antman. He waited for it to drop, hit it right-footed, tried to get on top of it, but it was wide of the left-hand post.
Yeah, technique was great though, wasn't it? You're right, he waited for it to come down. But you know, it's like 90% of those shots that come at that angle there that you have to take almost on a volley. They go flying over the top, but he caught it really well.
Hearts are going to bring on Rogers Matto, who they signed from Vardar Skopje in on loan, but he will be joining in the summer. It'll be a permanent 3-year deal for the Ugandan international. So he is going to come on. And it's Steinfender, the right back, who is going to go off. So I would imagine then that Altena would then just drop back in at right back for Hearts. And then the other change is JD Kasama, who's going to be coming on for Rangers.
Again, Kasama, skills-wise, absolutely top quality. Fabulous player. Could easily have started this game. And listen to the reaction of those Rangers fans who make him there. I think they agree with me. He's a player.
Kasama will come on for Mikey Moore. He gets the ovation as we go to the Winter Olympics and Katie Smith.
And this is the new event, the mixed team skeleton racing, a chance for Team GB possibly to win another historic gold medal today. We've just seen Freya Tarbet and Marcus Wyatt complete their runs down this course. Really solid showing. They sit currently in the gold medal position, 0.28 seconds up on China. We've got 2 German pairs to go, all 4 of them individual medalists in the skeleton over the last few days. And then it will be Tabby Stoker and Olympic champion Matt Weston looking to claim another medal here in Milan Cortina.
Thank you, Katie. A little flick on by the substitute, quickly back in Matto. If you missed it earlier, Charlotte Banks and Hugh Nightingale winning gold in the mixed team snowboard cross. You can see it on the BBC Sport website. Full time at Arsenal in the FA Cup. John Akers.
The quad is still on for Arsenal. Arsenal 4, Wigan 0. All the goals coming in 16 first half minutes. Madueke, Martinelli, Hunt with an own goal, and Jesus Eza set up 2 of those. Arsenal hit the post in the second half, and Wigan fought bravely. Could have collapsed, but it finished Arsenal 4, Wigan 0.
We have got just over 60 seconds remaining here of normal time. And the league leaders' Hearts are trailing. All 3 defeats have been away from home at Aberdeen, Hibs and St Mirren. But they trail by 3 goals to 2. And their lead at the top could be down to 2.
Yeah, they've got to throw in a dangerous area. They've just brought on Matto. He's had 2 or 3 touches. He looks as if he could be quite special, this young lad who's just come on.
Milne with a throw to Leonard, unable to deliver the cross. Back towards Leonard. Now sends the ball into the penalty area. Butland's come, punches the ball away. Gassama tries to get there, battles with it with Altena and manages to wriggle free over on that far side for Rangers. Gassama does well, comes in field, might open up for him. Gassama, he passes the ball, and now an opportunity to seal it. Youssef Chamiti with his first ever hat-trick sends Ibrox into raptures because Rangers have reduced the lead at the top to 2 points. In a week of late goals, that will seal the 3 points in this fascinating title race. Rangers 4, Hearts 2.
Well, first of all, what an absolutely brilliant break by Rangers. They dropped back and they dropped back these last 5 or 10 minutes. But the defending was superb, and when they got it out, they've got Gassama on the ball. He's taking it by 1 player, he's taking it by a second player. He's still only got to the halfway line, but he runs and he cuts inside, drags everyone towards him. There's a block in the middle, that's helped him. But Chamiti, a player who lacked confidence for such a long time, effortless. You never thought for a millisecond he was going to miss it. Hat-trick, 4-2. Rangers are flying, and by the way, they still look strong at the end of this game, don't they?
Well, you mentioned it earlier on, Pat, about the fact that they've got options off the bench, even though at the time when you said it, I think you said that they still look quite fresh. But they've just given the team that extra bit of energy, and it's no surprise that it was Gassama, one of those substitutes, who ran forward on the left-hand side.
Don't you just love that if you're a manager and you've got Danny Roll, you can bring a substitute on and he does that. He just run the ball. You're against tired players. Every game gets tired players at the end game, especially a game like this. But Gassama, his skill level after the long run, taking around 3 players to then play the perfect ball was superb. So I think Danny Rowe will be quite happy at this moment in time.
His 100th match in his managerial career, he's one to celebrate. This is a Rangers team that has just lost just once now in 19 games. No wonder his name reverberates around Ibrox. It is a 10th successive win at home in all competition. in which they have scored 32 goals and have only conceded 2. And the title race tightens up even more at the top.
I was doing an interview the other day and I got asked questions for an hour, and the last question was the hardest question I got asked: who's going to win the Scottish title? Absolutely no idea. None at all. Could go anywhere. And right now, looking at Rangers, if they play like this, wow, it's going to be close.
Gassama's just been booked, wouldn't retreat from the free kick. It was flicked to him deliberately by Kazaridis, and he got him booked actually for doing so. The yellow card was shown. In it comes the cross, headed away by Suter. Headed that then by and forward by Matto, and out of play. I swear this famous main stand is vibrating.
It is. And again, there's been many years when it's not been feeling that here. You know, a long time since Rangers have been really anywhere close to the likes of Celtic level, but now it's Celtic and Hearts. These fans are hungry for this, aren't they? You can feel it. They're desperate to get back into it, and they look like a real football team again.
We are into stoppage time, and Rangers are leading 4-2, and that fourth goal has just settled the nerves inside Ibrox. They've been there for so long, have Hearts, but they're now coming under real pressure from Celtic and Rangers behind them. But bearing in mind the nature of that top half of the table, there are still many a twist and a turn to come over the coming weeks. As Gassama to Tavernier. Tavernier on the edge of the area. Antman now flicks it out wide. Raskin's low ball, and across the face of goal it goes. Tavernier had actually continued his run into the penalty area, out for a goal kick. They almost had a fifth.
Does that not underline the Rangers' attitude now? They're 4-2 up. It's against Hearts. Hearts, the team that pushed them all the way. They have worked so hard, but they didn't stop until that last second.
There is the full-time whistle. And in this compelling title race, it has been a day of goals and a day of drama. We saw that Celtic at Kilmarnock come from 2-0 down to win by 3-2 with a 96th minute winner. They move second, but Rangers are now overtaken Celtic to reclaim second spot, and they are now just 2 points behind Hearts after a 4-2 victory where twice they were behind against them.
Loving it, and the fact that you've got 3 teams now, and I would say 4 that are just attacking everything. You know, Motherwell as well, but they're not going to get close to these 3 teams that are at the top. But the attitude towards the game is so positive. It's a joy to watch Scottish football at top level right now. And this was a cracker of a game. But I must say, the correct team won. Rangers had more of the play, more of the chances. And although it's hard in Hearts, Rangers were the team that deserved to win.
Leonard gave Hearts the lead in the 16th minute. They were only ahead for about 3 minutes. A Steinbender own goal. Braga's looping header put them back in front. Chimiti, though, made it 2-2 7 minutes before half-time. Fabulous header then put Rangers ahead, and he got his hat-trick in the 90th minute. He made his debut against Hearts in September. He scored against them in December, and he's registered his first hat-trick of his career here in February, as it is finished Rangers 4, Hearts 2.
And Pat Nevin, a massive win for Rangers, also massive for Chimiti. Danny Rowell had to come out in the build-up to this game with Chimiti's selection under a lot of scrutiny and say, I have full faith, I have full trust. Well, there's a big game player for you who got the backing of his manager at the perfect moment.
I will have to admit to you, before he scored his first goal, I don't think a lot of people were moved by the manager. It wasn't working for him at all. Confidence wasn't good, touch wasn't good, he wasn't holding it up. But after scoring the first goal, he just grew and he grew and he grew. And ain't that centre forwards for you? Look, his numbers aren't brilliant for a striker. Again, Roddy Forsyth said to me during the game, he scored a couple against Celtic. Big game player. That's exactly what you said there. I think the manager would like him to be a small game player as well as a big game player. Score a few more goals.
You need both of those, don't you? Yeah.
Exactly. But, you know, he will grow from that. He will be helped for a number of things. One of the things that will be helped is getting that manager's belief, also getting more game time, which he wasn't getting at his previous club, obviously. But on top of that, he's actually playing for a good team, a team that's creating opportunities and chances. Remember, his third goal there, made and laid on a plate from Mikey Moore. So you'll talk about the goal scorer, but come on, there's people putting in brilliant crosses for him. He's headed goal at near post, and he's perfect lay-on from. So, yeah, goalkeeper, goal scorer, take the headlines, take the hat-trick, take the ball home. All of these things, but also turn around to your mates and say thanks. Thanks for creating these chances for me.